Good morning, students. Today we will be studying about Pila globosa, commonly known as apple snail. This is a picture of Pila globosa, apple snail with the tentacles. Myself, Balram Sai, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Government Dunga College, Bikaner. Pila globosa, it is commonly known as apple snail. First of all, we will discuss about its systematic position. Phylum Mollusca, class Gastropoda, subclass Prosobranchia, order Megagastropoda, genus Phyla, species Globosa. In this lecture, we will discuss about the habit and habitat, external features comprising of cell, operculum, body organization, which is further divided into head, foot, and visceral mass. First, habit and habitat. Phyla globosa is one of the largest freshwater mollusks. They occur in those areas where there is large amount of aquatic vegetation. They are amphibious, being adapted for life in water and on land. These are commonly found in freshwater ponds, pools, tanks, lakes, marshes, rice fields, and sometimes even in streams and rivers. The animal creeps very slowly by its ventral muscular foot, covering about 5 cm per minute. The movement of animal is like a gliding movement of planarian. During the rainy season, Pila comes out of the ponds and makes long terrestrial tours, thus respiring air directly. It can overcome long periods of drought in a dormant condition and is buried in the mud. This period of inactivity is called estivation or summer sleep. Shell. The shell of Pila is in other gastropods is univalve but coiled around a central axis in a right-handed spiral. The shell of Pila varies in color from yellowish to brown or even blackish. Now we will discuss about the structure of the shell. The coils are called whorls. These are the whorls. This is the penultimate whorl. These are the other body whorls. The upper whorl is small and is called apex. This is the upper whorl and is called apex. It is located at the top of the shell. It is the first formed whorl, hence it is the oldest whorl. The lowermost whorl is larger and it is called body whorl. These are the body whorls. And these are the larger in size as compared to the upper one, and it is the youngest whorl. The line of contact between the whorls is called sutures. These are the sutures. The surface of the cell is marked by vertical ridges called lines of growth. These are the lines of growth. These all are lines of growth. A few lines of growth are prominent and they are called varices. Common singular, it is varix. These are more prominent and these are called varix. Singular, and plural, it is varices. The varices represent seasonal cessation of the growth of the cell. The cells open out by large opening called cell mouth. This is the mouth or aperture. Margin of the cell mouth is called lip. It is formed of an inner lip. This is the inner lip, also known as columnar lip, and this is the outer lip. The mouth is directed towards the right side, hence the cell is dextral. Very rarely the mouth is directed towards the left side. This type of cell is called sinistral cell. The cell is coiled around a central axis called columella. This is the central axis, columella, this also and this also. The columella is hollow. It opens to the exterior by a small opening called umbilicus. This is the umbilicus. This opening is located near the inner lip. This is the columnar lip or inner lip. Just above it is umbilicus. The cell is formed of three layers, namely outer periostracum, middle ostracum and inner hypostracum. The periostracum is formed of chitinous substance called conchiolin. The ostracum and hypostracum are made up of calcium carbonate and conchiolin. Below the apex is a spire consists of severally successive large whorls or coils. This is the spire. So in cell, this is the apex part. This is the penultimate whorl. These are the shooters, dominant lines, varix, singular, plural, varices. These are the body whorl, umbilicus, columnar lip or inner lip, outer lip, mouth. Next is the operculum. The mouth of the cell is closed by a lid called operculum. This is the lid-like structure which is covering the mouth, known as operculum. The outer surface of the operculum bears concentric lines called lines of growth. These are the concentric lines of, you can see, these are the concentric lines of growth. This one, then these all are lines of growth. They are placed around a nucleus. This is the nucleus part. The inner surface of the operculum has an elliptical area called boss. This is the boss of operculum. Muscles are attached to the boss. Boss is surrounded by a groove. This is the shallow groove surrounding the boss region. So, nucleus, outer lines of growth, then boss of your operculum, then the shallow groove. Body organization. If we talk about body organization, the body of phyla is soft. It is divisible into three parts, namely head, foot and visceral mass. We will discuss each part in the upcoming slide one by one. First is the head. If we talk about head has two pair of tentacles and a pair of eyes. This is the head part, comprising of two pairs of tentacles. This is the tentacle and this tentacle. So, two pairs of tentacles. This is the second tentacle and this is the first tentacle. The anterior pair of tentacles are called cephalic tentacles or labial palms. The mouth lies below the cephalic tentacles in the midline. This is the mouth. The posterior tentacles are highly contractile and are called true tentacles. These are the posterior tentacles and these are the true tentacles. The eyes are borne on stalks called ometophores. These are the eyes. At the side of the head, the mantle is produced into processes called knuckle lobes or pseudopodia. Of the two pseudopodia, the left one is much longer than the righter one. Next is the foot. This is the foot part, and foot is the ventral and highly muscular part. It has a flat ventral surface known as creeping sole. The foot is formed of two regions, namely anterior propodium and posterior metapodium. The operculum is attached to the metapodium. Then is the visceral mass. Visceral mass forms the main part of the body and is spirally coiled like a shell. It is covered by a fold of skin known as mantle or pallium. This is the mantle. Between the free margin of the mantle and the body, there is a wide space known as mantle cavity, within which a number of organs are located or situated. That's all in today's lecture. In the upcoming lectures, we will be discussing about the pallial complex in pila. Thanks a lot for paying the attention.